You see, people work for people, not for things. And so, yes, the mission, vision, and culture of your business is important. But you as the employer are the beating heart of that mission, vision, and culture. Everybody wants to recruit A-player employees into their business. But how do you go about doing that without selling your soul? Or how do you go about doing that and get your A-player employees at a price that you can afford? Employing people in your business is the fastest way to grow your business. In fact, for most business owners, other than finding customers, finding world-class employees should be your number one activity. However, many of us end up out there employing people at lastminute.com because we need somebody now, as opposed to actually having a plan, a strategy, and a successful way of bringing world-class employees into your business consistently. Throughout this video, I want us to talk about an attitude change that all business owners need to go through. I want you to talk about a mindset change in terms of who to employ, why, and when. And the last thing I want to talk about is what is it that A-players are really looking for when they go and choose an opportunity for themselves. The first thing I want you to understand is that your A-player employee is almost always currently employed by somebody else. They've usually got a job that they're performing well in. They're usually satisfied with their current terms, conditions, packages, pensions, so on and so forth. And they're usually happy. They are content. They are well remunerated. Somebody who is out there unemployed is usually unemployed for a reason. Now, I understand that some people are unemployed because a business they work in closed or it moved location, but those in general terms is 20 to 25% of the workforce that's out there that's currently not employed. The other 75% is looking to leave for a reason, or they're unemployed for a reason. The reason isn't usually great. So how do you go about finding employed people who are doing a great job for their current employer, are highly satisfied, and don't even know that they could consider moving somewhere else? So the first thing, the attitude change we need to have as employers, is to go out there and be meeting as many people as possible the entire time. I want you to shake hands with everybody, smile at everybody, become friends with everybody, and make a physical note for yourself. And I mean physical. I have this in a Google spreadsheet of their name, their contact details, and how it is you think they could be an employee in your future business of today, tomorrow, or some point in time in the future. Get to know them well enough where you know what it is that they would need to have happen in order for them to come and work for you. That's the first thing. It should be your second most important job other than customer acquisition. The next thing is a mindset change. Is people and A-players move for great opportunity, they don't move for packages. They move to work for a certain sort of person, and they move for an opportunity where they're going to get to be bigger and better tomorrow than they are today, and where tomorrow they will get compensated at a level that is with due respect to where it is they've climbed to. A recent senior vice president of Elon Musk's left her previous job with Amazon and took a 50% pay and package reduction to go and work as part of the SpaceX team. You've got to ask yourself, why did she choose to do that? Well, I've never met her, but I could guess. She knows that if she's part of SpaceX and they actually do get humans on Mars, that she will have been part of a business that's achieved something that no other business has ever achieved, and she's been one of the leaders that's taken it there. That means that at that point in time, she'll be able to go and get any job in any business anywhere else. She's also doing it though because the work is stimulating, it's exciting, it's mentally rewarding, and will stretch her. And because if there's one truth about A-players like to be challenged, they like to be stretched, they like to learn, they like to disprove the norms, and they like to go and do things that nobody else have ever done. They like to work for a visionary. They like to work for somebody who's got a plan, somebody who's going to try and achieve something astronomical that they get to be part of. You see, A-players think about opportunity size first, vision first, mission first, and package second. The other thing that we need to know with regards to bringing A-players in is that we need to be going out there and recruiting people slowly based upon their character, not their competence. Now, that doesn't mean to say they shouldn't be competent. But it's far easier to uplift a great human being's level of competence than it is to take somebody who's highly competent but a pain as a human being and make them a better human being. And so a strategy that I've used for decades now is actually to go out there and find incredible human beings that have got some gifts and some talents, and then create roles for them where they get to go and elevate their gifts and their talents. What that means is that I have to go against the traditional, here's a vacancy, here's a job description, and here's a package approach that frankly gets people to lie on their resumes or CVs and covering letters and puts me in a position where I have to meet them twice and then maybe go and give the keys to the kingdom to them. It allows me to nurture people over a period of time and bring human beings into the business that have great character and a great culture fit. And so then the last thing you have to understand is this. Are you the employer that an A player will want to work for? You see, people work for people, not for things. And so yes, the mission, vision, and culture of your business is important. But you as the employer are the beating heart of that mission, vision, and culture. And so an A player employee is busy deciding whether they want to work for you. Do they respect you enough? Do they trust you enough? Do they believe you've got honesty and integrity? Can they see you visually walking the culture and values of your business, even if you struggle? Can they do that? And can they see that in you? That means that to be an employer, to recruit the best employees, you actually need to go on a journey of self-discovery and self-improvement to become the employer that A players will want to work for. When you achieve that, and then you go out there and build your spreadsheet of humans that you could employ one day. And by the way, for mine, I've got people on there who may never work for me, but I've identified they could do one day. There'd be a good culture fit. If I grow the business to be worth $5 billion and I need a CFO, I think I've already got him. I can't afford him today, don't even have the work for him to do today. Yet he sits in the spreadsheet and I'll know who to contact and who I've got a relationship with when the time occurs. So are you as a business owner going to start to do your recruitment of your employee? Are you going to break free from the norm of the CV, resume, covering letter and interview and actually subtly interview people over months or years when they don't even know that they're being interviewed, in order for you to go to them when the time is right and say, hi, we've been talking for ages. Would this be of interest for you? Here's what I want you to do. Here's the opportunity. Here's the package. Would you like to give it a go? Interestingly, my biggest clients take that approach consistently, and consistently they grow businesses very, very quickly because they have the best employees in their city and in their country within their business. The employees that nobody else seems to be able to capture or get to work for them because their approach is broken.